Welcome. So,
Is it on?
yeah, they're on.
Oh.
Hey, they've been on the whole time.
And action!
Welcome.
Action!
Welcome to What You Watch. What you watching, what you watching, what you watching, what you watching, what you watching.
I love watching stuff with you.
I know, right? It's pretty fun.
We're having so much fun
Yep.
with What You Watchin'. And the great thing about What You Watchin' is it gives us permission to watch TV.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a
before we
work
would
thing.
just do it.
We gotta go now. We have to watch something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got work to do. It's very important.
Yeah.
The viewers make sure that we continue to keep bringing content in so we can all watch together.
Sorry, really boring party, but we gotta go now because we gotta go to work.
Yeah.
We all have to go, David, unless you have some special excuse.
It's my birthday.
Anyway, so today's What You Watchin'
Yeah.
comes to us from an empty nester subscriber.
Viewer, subscriber.
And I am very, very sorry because with our last name Pelusis, people don't get it right, but this is a tough one.
But we're going to try.
Debbie Janice Zaysky. I hope we did not butcher your name, and I hope you even know that we were trying to talk to you.
Let's try that one more time.
Debbie Janice Zaysky. Sorry.
So Debbie,
recommended
thank you, DJK.
The Offer.
Yes.
And The Offer is on Paramount Plus,
Yep.
and we never would have known about it. And I will tell you, we were sucked in. It was so good. Tell us what it's about.
So, first, let me backtrack a little bit. Last episode of What You Watchin', we reviewed Top Gun Maverick, and we said there's a bridge between Top Gun Maverick
And the
and
next
this
one.
next one, where there's a character that's in both of these shows that's on Paramount Plus, and it's called The Offer. Interesting little tidbit is Top Gun Maverick, the character who plays Goose's son, plays the lead character in The Offer. So Miles Teller, how this kid has
He's
not
so
been
good.
in
He's been
every-
around a long time.
I know, but he's amazingly talented.
He's the new it guy.
I mean,
and
seriously.
deservedly so.
How is he not like a rock star?
I think he's going to be.
So, Miles Teller plays a character named Albert Ruddy. The story is based on Al Ruddy, who is a producer. Interestingly enough, his first producing job was for a TV show that is on our era, which was Hogan's Heroes.
I've
That
been
was his
telling
first
everybody it's
gig,
my
and
kid's
then
name.
he ends up basically lying his way on to the Paramount Live and ends up meeting the head of the studio, Bob Evans, played by Matthew Good. So Bob Evans ends up having this conversation with Miles Teller, Albert Ruddy, and says, I'm a producer, and he basically fakes his way to getting a job as a producer on the lot. And it's basically focused on the Italian family mafia. And the interesting part about that is all of the things that come along with what he has to deal with in trying to get this movie produced is crazy.
Basically, it's a
Well,
reenactment of the making of The Godfather.
Right.
And our whole generation grew up watching The Godfather. And the great thing about this is
Right.
the behind the scenes
So,
makes you want to watch The Godfather.
So we highly recommend that you watch The Offer first and then watch The Godfather 1 and 2, because it sets the stage of basically what this guy had to go through to get this thing produced. It's insane.
It's the first time I've ever seen a situation where you really understand what a producer does. Like, we
Right.
all know what a director
Yeah.
does. We know what the actor does. And we're like,
What does a producer do?
okay, the producer does everything. It's so interesting. So we finished the series, and then we watched Godfather 1,
Yeah.
and then we watched Godfather 2.
Yep. So when you're watching it, I thought it was kind of interesting when Ruddy meets Francis Ford Coppola on the show to discuss the Godfather project. George Lucas is clearly in the background with several other individuals. And then also the series reunites several other people from HBO's Band of Brothers, which I thought was kind of interesting. Colin Hanks, Tom Hanks' son.
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
Okay.
He plays the assistant to the head of Gulf and Western, which is the parent company that owns Paramount.
I really enjoyed this. One of the little scenes that you just kind of have to watch to catch. Francis Ford Coppola really wanted Al Pacino to play Michael. And
This is interesting.
Al Pacino was an unknown. And they kept fighting. And for some reason, the studio head didn't want Al Pacino. They never really said why, but he was adamant about not having him. And so
I think he was worried about
Have you ever had bacon and syrup?
I'm not finished.
But
Pacino going after his wife.
maybe that's what it was.
'Cause he was
they
kind
never
of-
really explain it. But
kind of a train
Francis
wreck.
Ford Coppola cannot go on unless he has Al Pacino as Michael.
Yeah.
They finally get Al Pacino, and then Al Pacino goes, "Oh, I just signed a contract, and the guy who plays Al Pacino is so spot on.
It's crazy.
Spot on.
He looks and sounds just like the guy.
Exactly like him." And he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just signed a contract with MGM." So the head of Paramount goes to lunch with the head of MGM, and he tries to make a swap for Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. And way back when, neither of those guys,
They were unknowns.
nobody even knew who they were. And the MGM head goes,
Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, whatever, they're one and the same. I don't
They're
care.
interchangeable.
"They're interchangeable, we'll just switch them."
Yeah, it was crazy.
And that's how they got Al Pacino to be Michael, and he was so great. And then in Godfather 2, Robert De Niro ends up playing Don Corleone and wins an Academy Award. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are a Godfather fan, which we are,
Yes.
and
Now I am.
now that we watched it, okay. And the horse's head, one of the famous
yeah.
scenes in The Godfather, the horse's head. In the offer, they explain
The horse head.
horse's head.
The horse head in the bed.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you.
Not going to tell you.
You gotta watch it.
But you gotta watch it. So, I don't know, what are you thinking on the offer? On
I'm
how many
5.
lazy boys?
I'm 5 lazy boys.
5 lazy boys.
I
Wow.
make such a big deal out about the
I
lazy
know.
boy score, but this is one for me.
I'm a
And
5 lazy boy too.
What did you say?
It's not the production value. The story is so good, and
And Miles Teller's so good in it too.
yeah, he's pretty good.
He's really good in it.
Yeah. Another Empty Nesters Unite box goes out
Oh,
to
yeah.
a viewer, a suggestion.
Yep.
I think we've already started watching our next.
Yes, we have.
We already started it.
We did.
For the next What You Watching.
But we're not going to tell you until we review it.
Yeah. Keep the ideas coming because we appreciate it. There's so much great content out there that we can't possibly know about them all.
Put them in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like. It really makes a difference. It really helps us, and it just gives us the opportunity to do this more. And we want to know what you're watching because this is What You Watching.
So thank you for joining us for another episode of What You Watching.
What you watching? What you watching?
And
What you
we'll see you next time. All right, thank you.
Thanks.